review. So UFC Paris was last night. It was a good card. It was a great card actually. I got most of my predictions right for the fights. Um, yeah, most of the predictions I have for the fights were right, and my prediction for Fight of the Nights was right as well. So yeah, man, it was a good night for the Paris fans. I would have hoped. I hoped that I thought that the main event would deliver, but it didn't. So that's okay. My guy Mauricio Rufi lost. Crazy, man. Crazy. That was crazy, guys. Yeah, man. UFC Paris. Nasruddin Imavov got the W. Yeah, man. UFC Paris was it was good, man, but really disappointed in Mauricio Rufi. I had hoped he was gonna get the W. He didn't. Kalia Boalio, I knew he was gonna lose anyway, so the weight cuts in 2 weeks was gonna be too much anyway. But for those of you that were in the stream last night, I kind of fell asleep for the co-main event and the main event. Like I woke up and the fights was over. So yeah, chats. I just want to know if you enjoyed. Um, I don't know if you enjoyed UFC Paris. It wasn't the best. Um, it wasn't the best fight night of all time, but it's enough. It's better than going back to the Apex. So I guess it was. UFC Paris was what it needed to be. I feel like UFC Paris was exactly what it needed to be. Um, yeah, man. I mean, the first fight on the main card was a banger. William Gomez, Robert Ruchala, that was amazing. And then we had a couple amazing fights after that. But for me, my prediction for fights of the night was Mason Jones versus Okai. That fight was crazy. That fight was crazy. It had everything. Both guys were hurting each other. Um, yeah, man, it was amazing. And then Mauricio Rufi. Oh, Paul Craig retired. I feel like that was long overdue. He had took too much damage throughout his career. 37 years old. There's no need to continue taking so much damage. So yeah, Paul Craig retired. What else happened? Um, yeah, man. It was a good fight night, in my opinion. It was a good one. Benoit Santini somehow pulled off the victory. That was crazy. I mean, we're seeing a lot of these guys get exposed for their grapplings. Dracus Duplessis 2 weeks back got exposed, and then now Benoit Saint-Denis, he exposed Mauricio Ruffi. Everyone was saying Benoit Saint-Denis was gonna get knocked out. I was one of the believers that Benoit was gonna get knocked out in round one, but he proved me wrong. He proved a lot of people wrong. He got the W, so it was a good win for Benoit Saint-Denis. And then also, um, Imavov. Nazardine Imavov versus Kalio Pohalio wasn't the most exciting fight, but 50-55 for Imavov. So it was a dominant performance from him. Um, yeah, man. It was a good fight night. That I can say. It was a good fight night. But I'm here, chat. Got any questions on the UFC? Anything else? Um, doesn't seem like there's people in the live stream right now. But yeah, man, UFC Paris. I enjoyed UFC Paris. But what I want to know is, did you enjoy UFC Paris? And yeah, there's a whole lot of fights that were announced. Also, next week, Noche UFC, um, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. It's a big night next week for MMA and boxing. It's a big night next week for MMA and boxing. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, Noche UFC, Diego Lopez, John Silva. Yeah, man. And then we go back. We go down to Perth, UFC Australia. UFC Australia, and then from then it's UFC 320. So there's a lot to be excited about if you're an MMA fan. If you're a UFC fan, especially, like, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. We're not getting an Apex card, I think, for the rest of the year. But for me, like, the card that I'm most excited about right now is UFC 322. Makachev, de la Madalena, what a fight. Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili, the best on paper, the best fights that the UFC has put in the women's division by far. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili, what a fight. And then obviously Prates versus Leon Edwards. Cannot wait for that one. It's bound to be violent, that's for sure. But again, chat, we can talk about anything else, man. If not UFC, then anything at all, man. But yeah, UFC Paris was yesterday. I enjoyed the card. Even though I slept, again, man, I did sleep through the co-main event and the main event. I'm sure if you're a subscriber and you watch my live streams, you would have seen that I did fall asleep. I'm ashamed of that, man. I'm sorry, guys, but I was so tired yesterday. I was so tired yesterday. Like, even right now, I still am. But yeah, yesterday was way, way worse. I just kind of, like, I told myself I'm just gonna keep myself warm, and then zoop, I was out. I was out. I woke up and I saw Nasruddin Imavov had his hand raised, and then I also saw that what's his name, Mauricio Ruffi lost. That was crazy, man. Like, I can't believe Mauricio Ruffi lost yesterday, losing to Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm not saying like it's like bad or whatever, but losing to Benoit Saint-Denis in 2025 is kind of crazy, man. That's kind of crazy. I feel like the Mauricio Ruffi hype train is. I think it might be over, man. I think it might be over. Because from here on out, he's getting tough fights. Like he's getting tough fights, and he was calling for Benil Deluge, and if you don't have any grappling, if you don't have any grappling arsenal, there's no way you're beating Benil. You're not beating Benil Deluge. Yeah, chat. Again, chat. Do make sure you do subscribe. For MMA contents, it is Zar-Kombat. I want to know, man, did you watch UFC Paris yesterday? We are doing the UFC Paris live stream post fight review. It was a good card. It was a good card, man. A lot of great fights on the card. The prelims were crazy. Prelims were crazy. 7 fights, 7 finishes. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I don't know, man. Maybe there was something in the water in Paris, or who knows? But that was crazy. Seven fights, 7 finishes. So shout out to UFC Paris, man. UFC Paris was a crazy event. It forced the fighters to be their best. Sure. Everyone showed out. Everyone showed out. Everyone showed up. It was a good fight night. It was a good fight night. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for me. It would have been higher if definitely would have been a 10 out of 10 if if the main event delivered. If the main event delivered. The co-main event we did get to see a finish for Benoit Saint-Denis. But it wasn't exciting, It was a bit lackluster. I would have hoped to have seen like a bit more, but you take what you get. But yeah, man, UFC Paris guys was live yesterday. I'm still tired actually from actually watching the live. Like in South Africa, um, the time zone for Paris and South Africa is almost the same. I am South African, so we were watching UFC Paris yesterday. The main card started at 9. The main card started at 9 and it finished exactly at 12 a.m. Or yeah, 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. I mean, 12 p.m. So still a bit tired from that. And I was doing other things as well. But yeah, man, either way, UFC Paris did deliver. I think it did deliver for sure. It lived up to the hype. I feel like yesterday was the best events in Paris. Actually, no, I'm lying. Like the last one, forgot who main evented. I think the main event was Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis. That was the best UFC Paris I've ever seen. Like the finishes on that card, even though yesterday's card had more finishes, but the previous one, like the KOs were just crazy, man. The KOs were crazy on the last UFC Paris, but yesterday was a good card as well. So what are we saying, chat? Oh, what are we saying, chat? UFC Paris. UFC Paris. No Chair UFC next week. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford next week. Yeah. But tired, man. I slept late yesterday. The Paris card finished at around 12 p.m. So I actually kind of slept through the main events as well. The main events, which was insane. And I'm not even like I'm not even sad about it because I woke up and I saw that Imavov won and I was watching the highlights and man, Khalil Bohalio got dominated. I said he was gonna get dominated anyway. Cutting weights 2 times in 20 days is crazy. Yo, Punisher back in the chats. What's up, man? Yeah, bro, the fighting nerds got fraud checked. That was crazy, man. That was crazy, man. That was absolutely insane, bro. And plus, John Silver is fighting next week. I said he's winning against Diego Lopez, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Fighting nerds. I mean, That was crazy. Mauricio Rufy got dominated. Bohalio, I mean, Bohalio was always gonna get dominated. Cutting weights 2 times in 20 days. That's crazy. So I always believed he was gonna lose. Punisher saying, man, the amount of fouls Imavov did, they should have taken a few points, even though I was rooting for Imavov. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I kind of fell asleep during the main events. Like it was playing late for us here in South Africa. It was around 11 p.m. and I was like dazed, bro. I was dazed. I was half asleep anyway because the fight was boring. But I did think Imavov was gonna win anyway. And we know Imavov. He likes the eye poke, and that's his style. That's his style, man. I'm fighting nuts. Don't deserve process and I mean, listen, we were able to forgive Prates for losing to Ian Gary. So, I mean, if Kalio Pohalio and Rufi come back in their next fights and they get insane KOs, then we can forgive them also. I mean, if Rufi comes out and he throws another spinning back kick and he gets a KO, we're gonna forgive him. If Kalio Pohalio comes out and he beats someone by a KO, we're gonna forgive him also. So let's wait until the next fights, man. Um, Imavov did 2 low blows and 2 eye pokes, 4 fouls. It's crazy. And these were in 2 rounds. Yeah, man, that's insane. That's just him. That's who he is. That's who he is, bro. I mean, I've noticed that he does that a lot. Most of his fights, he does that. Most of his fights, he does that. But yeah, man. It's crazy, man. The fighting nerds taking back-to-back L's was kind of crazy, honestly. Like back to back. Like what's his name? Prates. Prates was crying in the crowd. Prates was literally in tears in the crowd. Like I was watching memes of people saying Prates is gonna be waiting for Benoit Saint-Denis. Yeah, that's insane, man. About Prates, the thing is, Prates fought an extremely high level opponents really quick. I think Ian was fourth ranked. Prates was still was top 15. So at least he fought Gary. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, I never really lost. I never really jumped off the Carlos Prates hype train. Like for me, since like the I remember when Prates KO'd the Leech at UFC 305. I was like, this guy's insane. And then he KO'd Neil Magny after, and then it was Ian Gary. Um, I don't know, man. I never really jumped out of the hype train, but for me, he's my favorite fighting nerd. The other guys, like I like John Silver as well, obviously, but yeah, Rufi and Kalio Bohalio, I'm not really a fan of them. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not just saying that because they lost. I've never been like their fans at all. Like Rufi, I mean, he's got nice striking, but I don't know. It's just like like you're coming into the game and it's kind of like prime Conor McGregor or 2014 Conor McGregor. So it's something we've seen before. Like we've never seen a Prates in the UFC before. We've never seen a John Silver in the UFC before. You know what I mean? Carlio Bohalio, I mean, no one cares about Carlio Bohalio. But yeah, Prates for me is definitely my favorite fighting nerd. Prates was drunk, was balls drunk. Yeah, I saw him, bro. I saw him. I saw him with the Brazilian flag, and he was talking to Gary in the crowd. That was insane. And about Gary, man, Gary, I heard Ian Gary was ducking Sean Brady. I don't know how true that is, but apparently Ian Gary is ducking Sean Brady. They were supposed to be the main event of UFC Vancouver, and Gary didn't sign the contract. And then the UFC tried to make Gary versus Brady for UFC Qatar. And yeah, Gary still ducked that. I don't know what he was doing in Paris, um, because I don't think any of his teammates were fighting because he trains at the same gym as Charles Oliveira, shooter box. I don't know what he was doing in Paris. I mean, he should be signing that contract to fight Sean Brady because I want to see him lose. Because there's no way Ian Gary beats There's no way Ian Gary beats Sean Brady. But then I heard now the UFC are trying to make Shafkat versus Sean Brady for UFC Qatar. Just gonna have to wait and see. I think UFC Qatar is like in mid-November, I think. So yeah, I was just waiting for that. But yeah, chat. I mean, Punisher. I think you're the only one in the chat right now. Like I'm still not gonna forgive you, bro, for dissing my boy Charles Oliveira, dog. Like I'm not gonna forgive you for dissing Charles Oliveira. I feel like if we see each other in person, we're gonna fight. But it's all love, bro. It's still all love. Yeah, man. Let's talk about UFC 322, guys. Let's talk about UFC 322 or anything else, man. I'm here. I'm not really here for. I won't be live long. I just wanted to check you guys out and ask you if you enjoyed the event. Because again, guys, if you didn't watch the live stream yesterday, I was live for like I think like 4 hours and I fell asleep for the main event. Like I woke up and I saw Halio's head was getting raised up and I was still on live and I that was crazy, man. Like I never fallen asleep on a live stream before, so that was the first time for me. And I just wanted to talk about UFC Paris quickly before I leave. Punisher. Again, chat, do make sure you do subscribe. Even though there's like I think there's two of you in the chat in the stream right now. But guys, do make sure you do subscribe. If you haven't subscribed. I know Punisher is definitely a subscriber. That's my boy. He's always in the chat. That's my guy, man. Punisher, where you from? I don't think I've asked you where you're from. Which country are you from? All things UFC Paris, guys. It is the UFC Paris live stream, post fight review. What are we thinking, guys? Imavov got the W. It's Imavov versus Khamzat next. Can Imavov or does Imavov have what it takes to actually compete with Khamzat? Because you gotta remember, I mean, Imavov he might be fighting from France, but he's actually a Dagestani. He's from Dagestan as well. And I've seen a video of him taking down Cyril Khan and other heavier guys. So who knows? I mean, Imavov, I think for me, it's either between Imavov and Renya Derrida. I don't know who between those guys has the better chance of beating Hamza Chimaev. But if I were to guess, I would say Imavov, man. I'd say Imavov just because of the Dagestani background. Because Renya Derrida, he's got incredible Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I don't think the wrestling of Renya Derrida can really. I don't think the wrestling of Renya Derrida is an issue for Hamzat or the striking as well. But for with Imavov, the striking, the jiu-jitsu, I think the heights as well. The heights as well might be a problem for Hamza Chimaev. But I definitely think Prates, not Prates, Imavov. Imavov is the number one guy in the division right now. So UFC 324. UFC 324. January. Yeah, Prates. Why do I keep on saying Prates? Imavov versus Khamzat. January 2026. First fight. The first big card for the UFC under the Paramount deal. I don't know, in 2026, are we still going to continue with pay-per-view? I know they said the pay-per-view model is over, but are we still going to have UFC 326, 327, or is the last pay-per-view in UFC history, UFC 323 in December 2025. I don't know how that works. I don't know how it works, whether we're gonna have UFC 320 whatever in the next years, or is it just gonna be UFC fight nights every single time? But yeah, man, I want the first big card in January to be Khamzat versus Imavov. Because if Khamzat wanted to, he could fight also this year. And honestly, it would have been better for his stock if he fought this year. If he fought this year, I know the UFC is not going to allow him to fight. But if Khamzat were to fight again this year, it would have been good for him. Because he had such a bad, not really a bad performance, but it was a lackluster performance against Dricus du Plessis. So to come back quickly and try and have an exciting fight, I think would have been beneficial for Khamzat Chimaev. But I don't know. He said he wants to fight in 2026. Ali Abdelaziz, Noah said that he's fighting next year. It's crazy, man. Taking 6 months off without taking any damage, nothing at all, and you taking 6 months off is crazy. And the guy's like what, 31 years old now. Like he's in his prime. Like he should be getting as much fights as he can, making the most of months of money as he can before he walks away from the sport. But I don't know. But yeah, Khamzat Chimaev versus Nazardini Imavov is the next fight to make, I believe. That's definitely the next fight to make. But what do you think, Chad? You think the win of do you think Imavov winning yesterday is enough for him to get the title shot, or is it is it RTR? I'm gonna pull up a question now. I want to know who's next for Khamzat. I want to know who's next for Khamzat Chimaev, chat. Is it is it either Anthony Hernandez, Renier Derrida? UFC Paris. It is the post fight live stream. All in all, man, I think UFC Paris was an amazing event. Would I have liked to have seen more? Definitely, especially in the main event. Yeah, man, that's all I've got to say about that. There's no one in the chat right now, so we're gonna leave it at that. But yeah, might go live again later today if I think it's a bit early for some of you guys around the world. But yeah, chat. It's been fun. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. It's been the UFC Paris live stream post fight review. It was a great card. It is Zar-Kombat. Do make sure you subscribe to the channel. Zar-Kombat. ZAR dash KOMBAT. Zar-Kombat. Chat.